I did do transcendental meditation as a kind of a 20-something-year-old, and I had a meditation practice. But because I was on I was in so much, I was in chronic pain,
Hmm.
and I was on medication. Those things created quite a veil for how the meditation practice really could show up. Now, it was helpful for me a few times when I got really in some kind of dark night of the soul moments with my pain, that
Hmm.
being able to kind of stay present and focus on a mantra and that kind of thing was for not watch my thoughts and not be my thoughts. That was very helpful. But it wasn't until actually I got into Peter's program and got clean of the medicine and cleared the actual physical pain in my body that the power of meditation became like amplified
Hmm.
big time. And and Peter always said, um, the number one modality to heal chronic pain is meditation, because it helps calm the brain in a way that sleep cannot.
Hmm.
And in
Interesting.
anyone here who's listening, that you'll recognize chronic pain if you have it by this: chaos in the brain. I can't remember where I just put my keys. That kind of thing that shows up. You're having that moment kind of regularly, right? And and this pronounced negative mind. You're bad. The world's bad. I'm bad. That kind of very that self-esteem or its mirror issue is, so negative mind gets accentuated in chronic pain. We all have a negative bias anyway, just to keep us safe in the world. New thing comes up, what's our first answer? No. Right? That keeps us safe in the world. But in chronic pain, that gets accentuated. Right. Meditation is one of the things that will help calm the chaos. And that negative thinking is the emotional part of the brain that gets, the memory part. Obviously, the memory, I can't remember where I put my keys. That's the memory part of the brain that gets affected by chronic pain, the changes that happen in the brain because of chronic pain.
Hmm.
And then the emotional part of the brain gets tweaked, and that's where that negativity comes in. So meditation is the thing that helps calm that, right? Also, like, meditation is part of the eight limbs of yoga. And in the Yoga Sutras, there's 196 Yoga Sutras. First Yoga Sutra is Yoga is Now. Second Yoga Sutra is Yoga calms the fluctuations in the mind.
Okay.
Right? And so meditation is one of the things that the sutras talk about as helping to calm the fluctuations of the mind, which
Hmm.
is this, you know, this emotional roller coaster that we can be on, right?
Yes. And at what point in your journey did you get interested in yoga?
Oh, I got interested in yoga back in 1990 something, 92 maybe.
Hmm.
I because I'd been had all this surgery, and I was laid up in the 80s for like 6 or 7 years in bed. I was laid up because of all the surgery and everything. And and then we came. That was up in Canada, and then I lived in Canada for a while, and then I came back here to Lawrence and Kansas, where I live, and I was I wasn't laid up anymore, but I needed to do some physical therapy in a safe way. And I found a yoga teacher. I had a every once a week I went to a yoga teacher here in Lawrence, and she was a godsend because I was still dealing with chronic pain, but she was able to help me stay limber. And you can imagine being in pain, you're like tense all the time. So yoga is a beautiful, just a gentle yoga practice, is a great way to retrain the nervous system and begin to help it unwind from that stress habit. This is part of it. This is unwinding from a stress habit is not just about a mental thing. the mental thing isn't going to work unless you've got it at the level in the nervous system that the body, you're working with the body, you're doing somatic work to help the nervous system actually rewire. So we have to begin, and meditation is great, but Peter had us doing physical stuff too, because he knew we had to address, he knew we had to address the body, and he would get us in the gym and get us moving. Very specific, beautiful qigong form that he taught us, and then he would put us down into meditation, right? So he had this great holistic approach. We also did what he called adversity therapy. Every Thursday we'd go in and we as a group, one of us would share something that we had gone through, and everyone else, and he would help us rewrite that in the script of that, and then the group would support. So that was pretty cool. But the fundamental thing with Peter was, move the body in a helpful way, learn to meditate, learn to breathe, right? And you learn to breathe in a conscious way, leveraging the power of the breath. And then be very wary of when you're in the mind and you've dropped out of your heart. Like when you're trapped up on I can't remember, one of the things I hear him say in my mind from time to, he'll drop in from time to time and say, get out of your head. I hear him say that, right? So these are the kinds of things that he talked about in his book, and that I talk about in mine, and that anybody who's healing from chronic pain, I don't care who you are, even Joe Dispenza and all the other people that write about chronic pain, they understand the power of this.